Hello, everyone. Hello. This is Echo from iChongqing. Welcome back to another episode of iChongqing and Bridging News. Today, we are thrilled to bring you coverage of the 2023 Chongqing International Coffee Festival, featuring a very special guest from El Salvador. As many of you may already know, Chongqing is a city that is passionate about its coffee, and this festival has become a major event for coffee lovers and industrial professionals from all over the world. And today we have the privilege of being joined by ambassador from one of the world's most celebrated coffee producing countries, El Salvador. So, for anyone who interested, do not switch the channel. Please stay tuned with us. Like and share and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. For those of you who may be new to the world of Salvadorian coffee, let me tell you that it is truly something special. The volcanic soil, high altitude, and perfect climate condition of El Salvador come together to produce a flavor profile that is unmatched in the world of coffee. But today's program is not just about tasting coffee, it's about exploring the rich culture, history, and passion that goes into producing this beloved beverage. So sit back, relax, and get ready to join us on a journey through the world of coffee, guided by an expert in the field. Welcome to the 2023 Chongqing International Coffee Festival and our special guest from El Salvador. So I'm gonna switch to you, Kangjeng. So please let us know what's your reaction, what is your interaction and conversation and the activity between you and Mr. Ambassador, okay?
Located in
Kan
the Lohan Temple. And today, I'd like to, I feel so thrilled because we have a special guest from El Salvador. I think maybe you have guessed right. He is the ambassador of the Republic of El Salvador. And today, he will introduce his country's coffee, including coffee's planting, toasting, and the taste characteristics. So I think that today will be a big day for coffee fans. Now, let's go. Okay, follow us. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Ambassador. Good morning.
Morning.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Yeah, okay.
you. My
Okay.
pleasure.
Okay, before our start, I'd like to invite my cameraman to have a look this beautiful, this unique coffee, and so we could have several seconds to prepare. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, please sit down.
Mm. Mm. It's quite nice. Nice place. Nice coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope soon you can have Salvadoran coffee here.
Oh yeah, I have tried yesterday. It's really delicious.
Delicious.
Yes. Okay, shall we start?
Sure.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Ambassador.
Morning.
I heard that you attended the opening ceremony of 2023 Chongqing International Coffee Festival yesterday. So could you please share your what you felt on site yesterday and what impressed you most?
Well, first of all, thank you for this interview. Yes, as you mentioned, yesterday I had the chance to participate in the open ceremony of the International Coffee Fair Festival, and really I was very surprised how well organized was the event, and also how important is coffee topic for this city. So I had the chance to deliver my speech in terms of talking about my coffee. So it was really, really a nice ceremony in the
Okay.
center of the city.
Yes, yes. Okay. Let's talk about your country, El Salvador. Okay. El Salvador's economy is based on agriculture, and most of the agricultural products are coffee and cotton. So, could you tell us about the history and the characteristics of coffee in El Salvador?
Well, actually, we have a very long history of being coffee producers, which started back in the by the end of the 19th century. So, but it was not just until the 20th century and in the beginning of the 20th century where when coffee really was boosted. Coffee producing was boosted by the governments at that time, and it used to be in the past, maybe not now, but it used to
Mhm.
be the main source of income for the country.
Oh,
Yeah, and because we specialized quite a lot in coffee producing, so and because of the type of land, so it quickly became very famous
yeah.
in the world, our coffee. And so now it is not the main source of income, but it still remains as one of one important source of income.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So my next question is related to this. As we know, coffee is not only a kind of a beverage, it's closely related to society and the economy. So, could you share the contribution of the coffee industry in your country to the local society and the economy?
I mean, in my opinion,
Mm.
coffee is more than a product itself. It's a culture.
Oh, yes,
It's a
yes.
culture. So it's a culture with uh, many branches. One of them, of course, is the producing of the product as such.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's the techniques and the skills, the land where coffee is harvested, and all related to the producing. That's on the one hand, but on the other hand, also, it's a source of income.
Oh,
You know,
yes,
not only of the country as a whole, but also for local economies
yes, yes,
within the country. Because in the areas where where coffee is harvested, local economy get benefits from because local workers are the one who work the land and also participate, you know, in, in the harvested of coffee.
mm-hmm.
But also, coffee plays a major role in societies like ours because coffee is like a mean for gathering
Yes,
for the people.
yeah,
So
yeah,
social, it plays a social also role
yeah,
in terms of social interaction,
mm-hmm.
and also maybe it is a little bit funny, but also plays a role in energetic life because people when they wake up in the morning, most of the people they drink a cup of coffee, and according to their testimony, they feel more energetic.
Energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so when they are working during the day and they feel a little bit lazy at work, so they drink coffee and they feel, you know, very energetic
yes,
for
yes,
continue working hard.
yeah,
And even for some sport people, they
yeah.
used to drink coffee before, you know, playing sports. They feel more energetic. So
Yes, my physical trainer told me if I drink coffee before exercise, my exercise performance will be better.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
So it plays very different roles in society. So that's why I call the coffee a culture.
yeah. And El Salvador's coffee is well known all over the world,
Mm.
and your country is named the land of the coffee. So, how do you think your country's coffee industry position in the global market, or in other words, how competitive is it?
Well, as I mentioned yesterday in another speech, we are very aware that
Mhm.
we are not uh, competing in the market of quantity producing.
Yes. Yeah.
Because, of course,
Yeah.
by far, we are not the main producers in terms of quantity. For example,
Mhm.
in Latin America, Brazil, for example, they produce thousands and thousands of tons of coffee.
Yeah.
Here in Asia, Vietnam, for example, they produce a lot of coffee, but we are not competing in that level because maybe they produce much more coffee rather than us, but the quality is not so high.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
So we are competing in a different market, which is quality coffee market, high level quality coffee market. And I think in that market, we are very competitive, and I think we are one of the best, if not the best in the world, gourmet market.
Okay, as you can see, this Yiddish coffee is named the Wu coffee. And what makes this place special is that this place is serving the coffee beans from your countries. So in the next part, I'd like to introduce the manager of this cafe, and she will invite you to observe the coffee making. Is that
Oh,
okay? Okay, let's
okay,
go.
good. Let's go.
Okay, okay, please. Is that Ambassador? This is the manager, Joy.
Joy. Yeah. So okay. So the first cup that we'll be presenting to you today is from El Salvador.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's from the Santa Ana region, west of the volcano. And then
oh,
we'll be presenting as a milk coffee. So this coffee is from Finca San Francisco by the Salaveria family.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with
I've heard about the name, of
yeah,
course.
okay, yeah. So they produce some really, really good
Mm.
coffee from El Salvador.
Good quality, yeah.
Very good quality. Yeah. So we found this coffee to be really good with milk because it's very sweet.
Oh,
And then our barista son will be preparing this coffee
oh,
for you now. Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah. So he's preparing it. You can enjoy the remains. So this coffee, this white coffee is actually a favorite because I don't really take a lot of white coffees, but I personally really like this
Oh,
one, yeah, because it has very nice hints of
it
chocolate.
is very popular between among customers.
Very popular. So a lot of our customers, when they first have this coffee, the first thing they say is wow.
Wow.
Yeah, because it has a very, very unique aroma to it.
Yeah. I mean, for very well-known customers,
Mhm.
you know, coffee really real lovers, and
Yep.
they can distinguish. I mean,
Exactly.
flavor, so
Yeah.
they know which one's better and which one's not.
Yes. So what we like about this coffee is number one, it's very sweet. So I think it's a distinct characteristic of El Salvadoran coffee. We like that it's very sweet. So it's very good with milk or even with black coffee.
Mm.
You have nice citrus fragrances that a lot of our customers they give very, very good feedback.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll be presenting to you.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is
Wow.
the
good
Chinese
figure.
cup. Yeah, it's actually a teacup. Yeah, please
Oh,
try it.
check. Mm. The figure is so nice, but
So with the first mouth, you would probably find hints of chocolate, but then at the back of it, I find it very similar with freshly baked cookies. So it has a very unique aroma of even like some customers say it tastes like banana bread. Could be because
it
of
has a
the
very, very unique taste.
yeah. Please. I hope you like it.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
It's something different, very different.
very, very.
Yeah, it's very different from the regular milk coffees that we usually have.
The only expression I can tell you is wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's such a delicious. Very intense.
Yeah.
Mm,
Intense flavor, yeah.
yes, delicious, really. Very, very delicious.
Mm.
So that proves that the quality of Salvadoran coffee is
Definitely,
high
definitely,
quality.
definitely it really comes through in a
Yes,
coffee.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's why people who really know about coffee
Yeah, I
maybe
really
prefer.
love to visit one day.
Sure, you're more than invited.
Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely. Mm,
So
good.
And now we will invite you to do the hand cool coffee, right?
yeah. So the pour over. Would you like to experience it or
My commercial counselor, he's an expert in that.
okay.
I want
Please.
people to know
Yeah.
his skills.
Please.
Go,
Yeah.
go, go.
So with this next one.
Yes.
So you have the so you can just open up. Yep. And then
He's a commercial counselor of the embassy. Yeah.
right. Yes, so you can just pour it in, and then I would be assisting you with this.
Here.
Yeah, just pour it. We've prepared everything, and then you can just go for it. Correct. Yeah, and this exercise. You're very familiar with it, actually.
He must be. He's promoting coffee.
Good coffee. It's really good coffee. So this second coffee is also from El Salvador, also from Santa Ana, also from the Salavia family. But this is a typical, and but both are similar. We chose both to be of the same process. Yeah, pour it in, please. And then you can just brew as you usually would. You want to start? Yeah. So let me move it over.
One.
No, you can brew to 250. 250, yeah.
Yeah, and you need to spread it, evenly.
Yes.
Yes, in order to get the
Exactly. You want the coffee to absorb the water, so be evenly extracted. His hand is so steady. You're definitely very experienced.
yeah, because he makes coffee almost every day. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, this is good. Yeah, you can. You can just pour it in here. Yeah, and then the cups. Let me do it for you. Oh, so please. So with this, you will get flavors of dried fruit and caramel and maybe some apple. Yeah, do have it.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, coffee, the first thing I do before drinking coffee, smell it.
Yes, the aroma.
Yeah.
It's all part of our five senses.
Actually, we really taste by air.
Oh,
That's why people.
more.
That's why when somebody wants to drink something that
Mhm.
it's not so good taste, so they try to keep their breath. You know, because we smell. You know,
It's
we have
smell.
taste is through the
Yes,
air.
definitely. It's like when we have a cold
Mm.
and we lose our sense of smell, we can't taste anything.
Exactly, exactly.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
So this is same process, but this is a typical.
This is really good.
Yes,
Mm.
because of I think because of the process, but I think the citrus flavors.
Taste, actually,
It's also it's also a characteristic of El Salvadoran coffee.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. It's not that I'm saying because probably you will say that I will say that Salvadoran coffee is the best because I'm from El Salvador, but really it is. I mean,
It
actually,
really is good. Very good quality. I think
yeah.
it's because of your natural environment, you know, the weather, the soil, the volcanic soil.
Volcano land.
The volcanic soil does so much good for the beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I think the serving utensil is so special, right?
Mm-hmm,
So it combines the Chinese traditional
Yeah.
character.
Because
Yes.
you know, we're next to a very famous the temple next to us is actually
Oh,
the 1,000-year-old history in China. So what we thought we would do is to integrate a lot of Chinese culture with you know coffee always with Western culture. But we wanted yes exactly we want a very nice fusion. That's why you can see with the door with a lot of the paintings that we chose to incorporate a lot of this
Evokes, right?
culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, yeah. Thank you. Culture is so important. Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very important.
Yes.
Anywhere you go, I think.
For example, well, it's so ironic that you can experience this kind of design and drinking coffee, which was not a traditional
No,
beverage from China, but now is very steamed by Chinese
yes,
public. So
very,
yeah, so it's like a mixture. It's like of things very enriched. Yes.
yeah, and rich culture. I think with globalization, a lot of we get to experience a lot of different culture from both the east and west, even you know all parts of the world. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I really enjoy it.
Well, of course it is, definitely. And here we have a sample.
Thank you.
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you. Thank you so
Introduction.
much for coming.
Thank you.
So much for visiting
Okay.
us.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Ambassador, shall we continue our interview here?
Sure.
Okay,
Yes,
just
yes,
stand
yeah.
here and then you
Of
can
course.
drink coffee.
I will continue enjoying coffee.
Yes, yes. Okay, the following question is related to
因为其实他们
your
他们都有
country
这
and
个
China and Chongqing.
文化。
Okay.
Mm.
You have said
对，
one of your
每天早上
tasks is
是
to
不是？
promote
其实很
the trade links between
对，
China
还会问
and your
但
country.
分了
So
段。
as far as you are concerned, how to promote the trade links between Chongqing and
那但是我是手走的。
Well, actually, there are many ways to do it properly.
No problem.
I think that, for example, trying to have a good relations with importers, it's a good way to do it. Now is my third time in Chongqing, but the second time with trade purposes. So I have had contact more closely with local importers and local coffee owners, and also with the Coffee Association of Chongqing. So,
Yeah.
and that helped me to get in contact with the people really interested in, bringing Salvadoran coffee to Chongqing, and eventually I will try to link these local importers and local coffee shops, owners to with the producers in El Salvador. So once I have link them, so the trade will be possible directly from the producers and the consumers here in Chongqing.
Yes, yes. On 24th this month, you presented the credential to President Xi in Beijing.
Yeah.
So could you share your feelings about being an ambassador in China for more than 1 year?
Yes, I mean, it was a very protocolary event because according to the international law, all ambassadors in the world, they must present their letter of
Yes.
credentials to the head of states of the country where you have been appointed. So, but because of the pandemic last year, and probably it was a little bit difficult to do it, so I had to wait until this year. Yes, but it was very nice. I presented my credentials to His Excellency President Xi, and according to international law, once that is done, I am fully, completely extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador to
Yes.
China. Yeah.
Oh, yes, China is so big. There are many interesting things are worthwhile to discover. Yes, so some people may don't know your country, El Salvador, because of the geographical distance. So it's too far. So could you please introduce some places of interest or delicious food for Chinese people to try?
Well, actually, most of our gastronomy is based on corn.
Uh,
Most of traditional dishes are based on corn, and I've seen that in some regions of China, and you also have some corn-made dishes also. So our most traditional and most famous dish is pupusa. And
mhm.
pupusa is basically it's like a tortilla.
I heard that that's your national cuisine, right?
National dish, yeah.
Oh,
Very national. I mean, very famous. It's like a tortilla made of corn. It could may be also from rice, but the most popular is corn.
yes.
So, but some people they like it made of rice. So mash corn, mashed corn. So people put inside some mashed pork, mashed beans,
Mm-hmm.
and cheese, and then they close the tortilla, make a bowl, and you know, they do this, and
Uh-huh.
they put it, on uh, hot iron plates. So it has to be cooked for about, not fried, cooked
Oh,
for
okay.
about maybe 10 to 12 minutes each side. So once it is cooked, you can eat it. Usually, people eat it with cabbage, carrots, as and also maybe some other vegetable, but basically cabbage and carrots. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I think after your introduction, many Chinese people are checking their flight ticket
Mm,
to your
mm.
country. And so at the end of today's interview, I'd like to invite you to write down some blessings for 2023 Chongqing International Coffee. Is that okay?
Sure,
Okay,
my
please.
pleasure. Yeah.
Okay, this way. Okay.
Okay.
While our ambassador is writing something in the coffee house, I'm gonna have to ask Durkang to ask about this, interaction between this coffee shop, the owner of the coffee shop, and the ambassador, because I know this coffee shop was started in the really little cafe and a comedy, a community. I'm sorry, a community. It was all
Okay,
started by a new,
thank you.
really
Okay,
small
I will show
business.
this to the camera. Okay.
You can read it.
Okay. All my best wishes for the International Coffee Festival Chongqing 2023. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr.
Welcome. My
Ambassador,
pleasure.
for joining our live today. And let us know more about your country through the medium of coffee. And I do believe in the future, Chongqing and your country, El Salvador, will have more trade links and cultural exchange. So that's all for today's interview. And now we will turn the screen to Echo in the studio.
Hi. Thank you,
Okay, thank
Mr.
you.
Alvarez, and thank you, Durkang, for your great interview. And can you hear me? Can you hear from me?
Yeah, I can hear.
So I'm gonna have to ask you to ask one last question because
Okay.
I'm really curious about
Okay.
this,
Out.
this history and how this little cafe has started its career, its business, since it was a really small cafe in a small community. I think that will be a great subject and topic for
Mhm.
how Chongqing people started their own coffee business by a little cafe into this really trendy business, really trendy industry. I think we can, talk about it in that field between the owner of the shop, the owner of the cafe, and the ambassador. What do you think?
Because the ambassador have a tight schedule and he had to leave
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. We can ask the owner back if that's really
Oh, okay.
convenient
Okay.
for that's
Let
available for
me
her.
see.
Yeah, because it's
Okay. Inside you join. Okay. I will find the microphone for you because
my
our anchor has a question for you. Okay.
we have to
Uh,
ask the ambassador to give the microphone back. So
oh,
while we are doing that, I have some really interesting comment. Hi, Nico. Hi, Han. Hi, everybody. And Carolina, thank you guys for joining us from YouTube, from Facebook, and I saw some friends are coming from El Salvador, and I'm really glad that you guys can watch this. Okay, heading back to you.
now the microphone is on Mr. Ambassador.
So he's returning back our microphone, right?
Yeah.
That was a great interview and a great activity that you've been hosting, right? There, Durkan. And I gotta say, guys, can you believe that this is the first time for Dirt to host a show? And I'm really proud to see this is
Thank you.
really
Thank you.
excellent content, really excellent. And so
Okay.
the
He's five.
our okay.
Okay. Ambassador, I'd like to take this
Oh,
bike.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Also, we are going to promote this really excellent book written by our beloved ex-colleague Mikael Larson, a really talented photography, a really talented content creator.
Okay,
Okay.
Joy is here. And could you please repeat your question once again?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask Joey to introduce how your coffee in business are becoming, like so booming these days. Just starting from, a really small cafe in the community area. Like, how did you even started this coffee business?
Um, this is an interesting question. I actually grew up in Melbourne, so I experienced a lot of coffee culture in Melbourne, and that's how I grew to be a coffee lover. And then during COVID, I actually came to Chongqing. My husband and I, we quarantined in Chongqing, and we fell in love with the city. So that's why we decided to settle here. We left our past careers and we started coffee. So I'm not sure if this answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you. So it all begins with the love of this beverage and the culture, right? And my
Mhm.
next question is about how you gonna, how did you gonna, promote your business just starting from a really small cafe, like
Mhm.
into this really trendy business. We've been talking about the coffee culture in China, and you said that it's really different from other areas in the world. So can you share your insights of it? Because there are so many cafe in China's, in the
Mhm.
community, in the corners, in the residential areas. Like it's
Mhm.
a it's a thing in China. So can you share your insights of it?
Um, I mean, we started out as a really small community cafe. So our other store is only 9 square meters, a very small bar. But I think one thing great about Chinese culture is that um, the Chinese, they are very, very willing to experience and adventure out and try out new things. So I think that's also how coffee culture got so popular in China. And then with people getting more and more health conscious these days, I think black coffee has become a very popular option as a beverage. I mean, no sugar, it has plenty of health benefits. So I think as a whole, people are welcoming this entire coffee culture, not just because um it's a very pleasant beverage, but also because um it tastes great, and then with the health benefits and everything, it's becoming a norm. It's becoming culture. Yeah. Just like people used to have tea in the morning, now people want to have coffee, whether it's for the caffeine tea, whether it's to, get rid of all the water retention
Mm-hmm.
and things
And
like that. Yeah.
thank you. And how would you like to develop the flavors? Like, I mean, when I taste the El Salvador's cafe in your, cafe, and I
Joy 他现
think
在
it's
接受
really
那个
amazing.
Echo 在演播室里的读文。
Uh,
没有了，
Icon.
我们这趴大使这趴就结束了。OK OK，应该最后一个问题了。
Okay.
So
Hi.
yeah.
So yeah, it's okay. So
Um,
how do you develop the flavors? Like, how can you,
Actually,
invent the
the
flavors?
flavors are developed through the process. So the process that the coffee went through, from being picked as a cherry, and then from the farm it goes through different fermentation methods, or whether it's a washed, and then different all these things actually give the coffee the flavor that it has. I mean, besides the natural environment that the coffee was grown in. So
Mm.
we didn't actually add
So
anything to the coffee. That's the beautiful thing about coffee. That's how it is.
all right. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Joey, for your
No
great
problem. Thank
interview
you.
with
Thank you
us.
for
Thank
visiting
you for your
us.
on our show.
Okay.
And I know you guys are going to take picture with the ambassador,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna next to
Gonna
it,
grab a
and I'm
picture.
gonna switch back to Zhiyu so you guys can take pictures together.
Thank
Okay, great
you.
work,
Yeah.
great work, guys.
Thank you
Hello,
for waiting. Thank you for waiting. Can we please grab a picture with you? Yeah.
hi,
Hi, hi, Icon.
hi, hi. So, what are you going to show us today? Please introduce yourself and your current location to us. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Icon. My name is Zhiyu, and I'm actually really glad to hear that Mr. Ambassador is enjoying his coffee experience in Chongqing. And I am currently at Jiefang Pedestrian Street, which is the main location of 2023 Chongqing International Coffee Festival. And today is the second day of the festival, and there are already many coffee lovers here for this exciting experience. And I've heard that the festival is actually really exciting, and there are many stores, brands, and even factories are invited in this festival. So I'm sure the festival will not disappoint them. And I am now actually in a booth that is specifically about coffee from El Salvador, which is the homeland of Mr. Ambassador. And I also heard that the country El Salvador is a rich country with volcanic resources, which is perfect for cacao planting and also for coffee industry development. So let's hear more from our barista. Hi, good morning. So, can you tell a little bit about yourself and your brand to us?
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Xiaoya. I'm from Operon. This one, Operon.
Yeah, it's Spanish, right?
Yeah. Okay. All of our coffee is from El Salvador. This time, we were invited by the ambassador of El Salvador. My boss, Tom, is in El Salvador now. Right now,
She's watching our live, I heard,
I
right?
think
Yeah, so
she's
say hi
working
to your
now.
boss.
Hi, hello, Tom. I miss you. Hello. Yeah.
You just mentioned that you were invited personally by Mr. Ambassador himself, right?
Yeah.
So did you guys have some direct interactions? Like I heard that he also went here the other day to try your coffee, right?
Yeah.
So did you really make a cup of coffee for Mr. Ambassador?
Yeah. I made a cup of coffee for him, and he said it's the best.
He said it's the best in this festival. So you really raised my expectations here. I hope I get my first cup of coffee today, and let's hope it's the best. So could you tell us which bag of beans did you use the other
Okay.
day?
This time I will make a cup of coffee for you.
Mhm.
By this one, purple rain. Yeah.
Yes.
It's from El Salvador.
So
And,
yes.
Yeah. And the farm is Amelia.
Amelia,
Yeah.
yes. So the farm itself is also in El Salvador, and the beans are also from El Salvador.
Yeah.
And is this the exactly bag of beans that you used for Miss Ambassador?
Yes.
So we have the honor today to share the same cup of coffee with Miss Ambassador.
Okay. I will make
Okay,
it.
so
Okay.
our barista Xiaoya is making a cup of coffee for us right now, and I'm gonna bring you a closer look to it.
We can see there are a lot of audience and
Yes,
passengers
yes,
here.
yes. So many coffee lovers. So the technique Xiaoya is using now is called hand brewing, which means she has to hand grinding the beans into powders, as we can see now, and the powder will be put into this little filter cup and putting some hot water for our cup of coffee. And it smells really good. Rich smell. And now she's putting some hot water to wet the filter paper. The water temperature and the quantity of water is really important, I think. Now putting the powder, beautiful brown. And hot water. So the beauty of hand brewing technique is that we can actually have a direct look at how the coffee is made and how the coffee is dripping from the cup. It's really just enjoyable to watch. While we're waiting for our coffee, we can see they also have some stickers that were handmade by the brand themselves, and I think this one is the farms in El Salvador where they plant their cacao beans, and it's just adorable. Can you see that? And this one is also handmade, and it's the coffee tour of their beans. So you can see from discover beans to visit coffee mall and to buying and shipping and sharing, which is what we're doing now. We're sharing coffee. The coffee is getting more and more, and I think it's
So,
about to be right. Yes.
I wonder what kind of coffee do you like the most?
I prefer sour flavor with a little bit of nuts and flower flavor into it.
Hmm.
So my
Then I
daily routine
guess.
actually
Mhm.
starts with a cup of iced Americano. So
Mhm.
no milk because it's more fresh and wakes me up in the morning.
Yeah, it's really freshen up your day in the
Yeah,
morning,
yes.
by a
Yes.
really cold and amazing black coffee. And
Yes.
I don't know. I think I think it's because it might be because I'm aging. I prefer I prefer black coffee more than coffee with milk, like latte, some kind of thing. Because when I was like 20, in my 20ish, I drink latte all the time. But
Mm.
I think it's more healthy for
Thank
your body to
you.
drink black. Wow, it's done.
Yeah, yes.
Come on,
It's the
taste it.
exactly one as mixed ambassadors. So I feel
Yeah,
really honored.
but
I'm
made
gonna
by
try.
another people, so it might have different flavors.
Ah, you have a point.
So we have some
Let's see.
questions.
Yes.
Mm, it says, I wonder what the coffee consumption timeline looks for China. Well, it's a huge one. It's a huge one. I think people in China tend to drink more coffee. I think it all started like in, 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, there aren't many cafe in China. So I don't think I can give you an exact, an accurate timeline for this, but I'm definitely gonna tell you. When I was in college, which is about 10 years ago, I brought my own coffee bean and my own grinder and my own coffee filter and cups and everything to Dunhuang desert and to travel in there with my friends, and we slept over at night in the desert, and in the morning we made our own coffee. But it was like it's really like a how to say, it's like a rare habit in Chinese people. Not so many people do that. They just drink the instant coffee product. So that was things in 10 years ago, but now it's all different. Okay, without further ado, let's switch back to Zhiyu in her journey at the 2023 Chongqing International Coffee Festival.
Yes, hi, I just finished my first cup of coffee, and luckily the flavor is sour enough for me, and I feel very refreshed right now. And we're now still walking in Jiefang pedestrian street. Today is actually a really sunny day, and it's really warm, and we can see that many tourists and visitors are here because Jiefang pedestrian street is one of the most popular, if not the most popular places for citizens and visitors to come for city life in center of Chongqing. And with the 5 day vacation of Labor Day is around the corner, I think there will be more visitors, tourists, and customers coming here in the following days. So for the next part of our tour, I'm going to show you some really interesting coffee brands because right now in our daily life, in our modern life, drinking coffee has become a lifestyle, and selling coffee is actually more than providing a delicious cup of drink, but it's also about making a legit business. So making brand impressions is actually really important. And in this area, we can see several really colorful booths, and it's kind of bigger than the first ones we see. And there are like 2 or 3 brands that I want to show you specifically. We can see coffee lovers are enjoying the breeze, the coffee flavors, and just enjoy this bright morning. All right, so for this brand I'm gonna talk about is Tag Espresso. It's actually a brand from Singapore, and we can see how clean and direct their logo, their brand impression is. The main color of their logo and their decoration is blue and white, which is very clean and fresh. And besides their really simple and well thought out logo, we can also say they have put out some brand products here for selling and for showing. We can see some T-shirts, some cups, and some canvas bags. I think I'm gonna come back later for some buying myself some souvenirs. Actually, apart from these kind of products and color impressions, there are also other ways to make strong impressions to your customers, like this booth next to them. The name of their brand is called Planted. So from the name of it, we can actually tell that instead of animal milk, they chose they chose vegan milk as the ingredient of their coffee. Which is actually a really popular trend right now among coffee lovers. According to some scientific researches, in East Asia, there are more people than we think that are allergic to animal milk. So if you are allergic to animal milk, but you also want a cup of latte, like Echo in her 20s, you can always choose this coffee with vegan milk. What's more, vegan milk has more plant ingredients choices, which means it has more opportunities and choices for the customers to put into their cup of coffee. And I want to know what's your favorite vegan milk uh, to put into your coffee, because my personal favorite is oat milk. It's kind of cliche, but I think it's just really classic, and I love how smooth it goes down my throat. So feel free to share with us.
Yeah, mine is probably the coconut juice.
Oh,
you know, and it's
Kind of
really
sweet, right?
refreshing and it's kind of sweet with a natural sweet flavor. And I also love oat milk. I love it, but I
Mm-hmm.
think nothing compares to the black coffee. So I rarely go with oat milk unless I feel I'm tired
The
and need
way
some
there
comfort.
also is a booth that really pops out in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Yeah,
bright red kind of reminds me of a brand I know, and let's get a closer look. So this is Jiaolou Cafe. It's actually a brand from Beijing, the Forbidden City. And as we all know, red walls and traditional architecture style is the signature of the Forbidden City. And we can clearly see that the brand took many inspirations from this kind of signatures, from the red decorations to their cultural products, and even the coffee machine itself reflects how the traditional culture and the design affect, influence this design. And I also heard that this cafe also have a store in Chongqing itself. It's actually in Nanbing Road. And in Nanbing Road, there's actually a museum where they kept the treasures from the Forbidden City in Beijing during the Second World War. So I think that's also kind of one of the reasons why they chose their store address in Chongqing. And I also think it's really amazing how a cup of coffee can bring us closer to culture and to history. So I think I'm also gonna come back later for some souvenirs here. I really love
yeah,
how bright the red looks. And for the third part, we have this kind of crowded and colorful area. I think in this area, they have more independent brands and some local brands, not only from Chongqing and from other cities in China. Let's take a closer look. I think independent brands are also kind of really popular among the youngsters in these days because they have more energy and more passion to put into their innovative and creative products. So we can see we have some coffee shops from Dali, and also I know there is a coffee shop from Xiamen. Xiamen is actually a uh, really popular tourism destination in southeast China, and in Xiamen, Fujian province, they have this culture of drinking tea and planting tea leaves. So in this store, coffee store, I think they also brought tea culture and coffee culture together in Chongqing. So let's take a closer look. Hello, good morning. Can you tell a little bit about yourself to us?
I come from Xiamen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a barista
A barista,
in the
yes.
barista of Xiamen. I think in coffee can between you and me
Mm-hmm.
in the relationship
Okay. Because
because because coffee have lots of flavor.
so speaking of flavors, other than some classic flavors in your coffee shop, do you have any innovative, creative flavors like the tea and the coffee combined together?
Yes.
I mentioned before. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
You can taste sunflower in the coffee. Maybe just like uh, paper flower or white flower. That's about it. And
Yeah.
some fruit, maybe like peach and some hot fruits.
Okay, so with this kind of beverage, we can have more stronger sense of flower and fruits in it. And I wonder how you came up with the idea that combining tea and coffee together?
I just thinking Chinese tea so much, so I want to get coffee and tea together to 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 get something to my people to
And did you succeed in your first try, like your first cup of tea and coffee together? Was
Yes.
it balanced?
Yes.
Yes. So you, wow, that's
It's the first
awesome.
time in Chongqing.
Your
Yes.
okay, okay. So, can you show us how you make a cup of this innovative
Okay. No
coffee?
problem.
So the technique you are using is, so are you using this machine or
Yes.
okay?
It's it's a
I always find this angle really cool. The hands of a barista and the big, really cool machine of it. So, in which part of your procedure do you put in tea leaves? In which part of the procedure do you put in tea leaves? Like, where do you put the tea leaves? This is business secret, people. Have a closer look. And the tea you are using, is it from Xiamen?
yes.
You brought it from Xiamen. And what's the name of it?
Name is 厦门的盐场.
Xiamen的盐茶.
Yeah.
Like the stone?
It's stone tea.
Stone tea. Wow. So the tea is growing in a cliff, like in stones?
Yeah, I remember some of our audience and followers are really, really interested in tea in Fujian province. I think Han has already recommended the tea in Fujian for thousands of times in our live stream. Is that true, Han? And they've been talking about the tea mixed with coffee, and it's really amazing in those cities and areas along the sea in China.
First taste of it.
Thank you.
Wow, looks
Another
nice.
cup of coffee.
Hmm.
I'm gonna smell it first. Yeah, I can definitely smell the tea flavor of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So they adapted the tea in Fujian, right? The tea in Xiamen.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. I think
So
it's a
I'm
great
gonna
mix.
describe. Thank you. I'm gonna
Wow.
describe a little bit for you. Now
Oh,
we're
so
adding the coffee in it.
this is the time when they add coffee in it, then
Yes.
blend coffee in it. So they allow you to taste the tea firstly, and then they blend the coffee in it and mixed it together. Hello,
Yes.
Tay. Hi, another our friend here.
So
What
for
is
the
the
tea
flavor?
itself, it was really, really fresh, really light, and I can definitely tell how the flower and the fruit flavor in it. And it's like I mentioned before, it's a sunny day, and I was feeling kind of hot, so a cup of iced tea is really nice for me. And then our barista added some coffee in it. The coffee was hot, and the combined together in my mouth, I can taste it, the hot and the ice together, and it's just fascinating. The flavor is not nothing I imagined before, and it's kind of bitter than the tea itself, but the balance is really nice. I think I will add this store in my list, and I will become a regular guest. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Can I take this to go? Thank you so much. I just can't leave it. I love it so much. And now we are keeping moving, and there's also another store that I wanna talk a little bit about. So this the tea and the coffee is from Xiamen, and now we also have some independent brands from Chongqing itself, like this. Wu Yinmen is a local and independent brand in Chongqing. Wu actually means epiphany, yin is drink, and the men reflects to street gang, which is kind of related to the street culture in Chongqing. You know, I am not originally from Chongqing, and as an outsider, like a kind of a tourist myself, in my mind, Chongqing, the city of Chongqing, people in Chongqing always have the side of being really friendly and outgoing, hot and direct, just like Hotpot itself. So I really appreciate how the local brand is combining, is embracing this part of local culture in their brand. And we can see beside the brand name and the decoration of it, they also embrace some local ingredients in their recipes. As we can see, they have some pepper dirty, pepper latte, and it's just really creative and innovative. They also have some images, which is handmade, and it's just adorable, really cute. And we can see that we have some green pepper here, which is a main ingredient in their pepper dirty and the pepper latte. And I think the barista is making a coffee for our customer right now, and I wonder if she will grinding some pepper into the coffee. So, Echo, have you ever tried pepper in coffee before?
I don't think so, but I'm really, really curious about the flavor because I think this Sichuan peppercorn is really different from the other kind of pepper in Western countries or Latin American countries because it's more of a refreshing and with more flavors in it, but less numbing feeling that it will brought to your tongue. So I think it's different, but I think it's creative. It's a creative combination.
Yes, actually, really creative. As we can see right now, the barista is putting some beer syrup and also tonic water in the coffee, which is actually more common in making cocktails. Am I right? So it's kind of
Yeah,
cool to see how they
yeah,
combine, yes, this cocktail making techniques and coffee making techniques together.
yeah. This cafe place is definitely a must try, a must go. When you are visiting Chongqing.
I agree. Look at the decoration; it's really detailed. All right, let's keep moving. And we can also see in this festival, we have some cultural products along with it, and so many coffee lovers, so many tourists, and so many coffees to experience.
So
You
they
know, in
also
our
serve
short,
flavors. Hmm.
yes, in our short live streaming, I have already drank 2 cups of coffee,
I
and
wonder
now
what's
I'm
gonna
a little
happen
bit of
right next
hungry.
or
And in
right
my
next week.
mind, coffee, yes, and the the dessert and bread always go better with coffee. So I think it's time for us to find a bakery shop to
Okay,
go with our coffee.
okay. Find a special one. Find a special one for us.
I hope it's special enough for our
Mhm.
audience.
Oh, I love how these waitress are wearing their uniforms, like when they are off work at noon, they are visiting the festival, like really cozy, enjoying the cozy vibe and the nice weather.
So speaking of uniforms, how do you like these uniforms?
Very much. I like green color. You know that.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. So this is a bakery I chose for you to try. Actually, for me to try, and without further ado, because I think every kind of bread and the bakery looks so amazing and tasty. So without further ado, let's hear it from our bakery maker herself. Hi, morning. Hi. We love your uniforms. It's really cool. And can you tell a little bit about your brand and your bakery? Yeah, they are being busy. I can totally understand because their bread just looks amazing.
可以到店里直接使用，就是寄货之后线上线下都能使用。可以自行支付吗？哦，不用不用。门店前头打上是哪个？然后那个甜品121。
Can you tell a little bit about your brand?
来，Hello， 嗨嗨。我要介绍我们的产品。
Yes, and your brand 你的品牌。What's the name of your brand?
和田玉。
What's the meaning of it?
啊？
是什么意思？
就是何其有幸与你甜蜜今生相遇。
Oh my god! Yeah, so it's so in English it means that it's how sweet it is in my life to have the chance to meet with you, and I think it's perfect for a bakery shop because most of the products are sweet, and even it's salty. I think our feelings when we taste it is sweet and happy. And tell us a little bit about your products, please. 你们有哪些产品？
These are the focaccia from Italy. We add many traditional Chinese food in.
They put many traditional Chinese foods in it. For example,
I don't know how to say it. 烧白梅菜扣肉. I don't know how to say it.
am I in a restaurant or in a bakery?
三线肉 pork.
Oh, so they put some pork in it.
It's very traditional Italian food.
Oh, it's so this is Italian and this is Chinese.
From Chinese and from Chongqing.
From Chongqing.
From Chongqing.
So the bakery is actually also very innovative and creative, and it's not as expected. I thought we'd only have some chance to have like dessert, sweets, but we can actually have lunch here, I think, and it goes really. Oh, what's this?
Well, I don't know.
I think it's fried rice. Fried rice, and I'm gonna try it right now. Really crunchy, not as spicy as it looks, but kind of sweet, and yeah, it's really nice.
This is very, very spicy.
So they also have very spicy bread here, kind of very Chongqing style. Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna choose some later. And do you have more questions for me, Echo?
We have some audience are, really, mouth watering with their mouth watering. They are really looking forward to this food that you are tasting. Actually, Han is talking about this buns. I mean, I think it's bagels, not just buns. They have this Italian style, they have this Americano style, and they
Yes,
have
yes.
Chongqing style, spicy style. Yeah, I think. Let me just check. We have a really great content creator, JC Max. He has been El Salvador exports a lot of coffee in that beautiful country. And he is really interested in our live stream, and he follows Alex, and Alex is boosting our show with more viewers and more audience coming up to us, and I'm really appreciate about that. Thank you, Alex. And we still have Han and Nico, and I wonder why, the our old pal, I can't record his name, but there's really a loyal and a really honest, really warm-hearted man that was with us all the time, but now he is not with us. So I think that's it. That's the comment for today. So what's your next destination or booth? Oh,
Well,
Winnie. Okay, Winnie is a really Winnie critical thinking. I think this is a new idea for us. Welcome, and I see your warm-hearted comment today, and really grateful for that. Thank you. So please continue your journey with us, Zhiyu.
okay, so actually, this is pretty much it. I'm still in Jiefang Bay Pedestrian Street, the main
Mm-hmm.
location of 2023 Chongqing International Coffee
Mm-hmm.
Festival. And I
Mm-hmm.
heard that there will be a barista show off later in this festival. So make sure to come by, watch the show off, have some coffee, have some bakery, and just enjoy this warm late spring.
Okay, I'm gonna put Kang Kang and Kang in front of the cameras to say goodbye to our
Bye.
audience. I'm gonna put my in the middle of the screen. So thank you
Okay, bye
guys
bye.
for watching our show. Thank you for our great team working together on this project, and I'm grateful for our ambassador. Um, the ambassador of El Salvador to China to joining us today's show. And thank you guys for touring us around in this great event in China, in Chongqing. As Alex just mentioned, the reason that Chongqing has been exporting and importing those coffee products like in a really fast speed and a really efficient speed, a really rich in content way is that we have a really convenient international home for logistics system that is ILSPC. That is the core and the national strategy of Chongqing, the biggest municipality in southwest China. So if you are interested in that, please focus on our content, follow our page on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, and we have more for you on YouTube. Alex and our colleague has been producing the great content about how Chongqing is becoming a really amazing city in this area. And if you haven't know this city yet, I bet you have to subscribe this, content in our channel. So thank you guys for joining us. This is the coverage from the 2023 Chongqing International Coffee Festival. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. See ya. Kimberly. Okay. So we have thank you, Winnie, thank you, Nico, thank you, thank you guys for always being with us. And I can't, I just can't say enough that how much I appreciate your company with me every time when I'm like living. I'm gonna put my thumbnail on it. So let's just say goodbye, and I'll see you on our next episode.